Whoa, caught me in mid sip. I have a lovely little chai tea going tonight. Hello and good evening. You are back for, I don't know, 53, 4, 5, whatever show it is. Ah, what a fantastic time to be alive. Just so much going on. I've been working in the yard the last couple of days, working on a few of the projects that I've been really knee deep in. But rain comes and you kind of get sidetracked and some things. My business life is crazier and busier than it's ever been before. It doesn't make me who I am. Business. I really want to talk about a few very kind of personal things tonight. It is that kind of time of the year, I'm going to really get into that. In fact, I'm going to write that down because I don't really want to get into that at this moment. So I'm going to write that one down. I really want to address the market because I know there's so many people. Yeah, I smashed my finger. That's good. I just threw some tape over it. I really want to get into the market as there are so many people that are, panicking and I understand it's a difficult time. And I've been a promoter of this crypto community. I'm as much to be responsible for, if you will, as much as anyone else to some degree. This is a very difficult time for all of us. It's not indicative to our future. The current prices and numbers on retail is being manipulated. I shouldn't say that. It's not being manipulated. It's being fairly traded. I know nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to hear that it's somebody else's fault for me not doing well, or maybe doing the things that I'd like to do with future profits that I perceive coming into my life. It's very clear to this gentleman right here what's happening. There's a ton going on in the futures markets. They have a lot of moving parts over there that are easier liquidity wise to short. They can short a lot faster and quicker with longer future dates. All of that to say this: it's a short right now for them. It's not a long. I think it's more likely to make money if I short this thing instead of it going up. I think it's probably more likely to get sentiment, human emotion, all of those things. Market makers dwell on that. And you are the recipient as a long-term hodler of these coins of current market structure or psychology. This is not good. I know all that sounds like a bunch of psychobabble to you, and I probably would understand if you thought that way. However, people make money with everything, and they make money going up and down. And I just need you to really understand that, because people are profiting. Ultimately, it's this man's opinion that they are wrong about this product. I shouldn't say that. I don't believe they believe that in the long term at all. In fact, I think they're just playing short-term trades against the retail price right now. And that's exactly what's happening. You need to zoom out, really look at what's happening. Everybody wants to own it. And I'm talking about people in the financial world and people that actually know where all this product is going. And product, I mean crypto of all kinds. There's no way it's just going to go to zero and well, that was fun. Gee, everybody had a good laugh about all that. That was great. It's all done for. No, that's not what's happening. Long term, it's a go. It's like saying, oh, well, AI probably is just going to fizzle out here one day, or robotics. We don't need robots. We would probably just do without them. We'll just get more cheap labor. What do we need? No, that's not realistic. So it's going to be a while. Let's talk about some of the liquidity. I only listened to a few minutes of Jay Powell yesterday, or whatever it was. Please. I caught that guy in like 4 lies. Like, I can't even, it's not lies as much as it is. No, I'm gonna stay with lies. I can't. I was about to sugarcoat it and just try and say, well, that's his perspective or his belief, or no, they're basically. I mean, they're trying to say that the tariffs were still bad, and I'm like, what are you looking at? Like, I'm sorry, you call yourself an economist, and just already today, I guess we signed something with Japan that says, well, Japan used to charge us 25% for auto parts. And now it's only 10 or 15%. How can that be inflationary? Excuse me. All these countries were charging us extra money other than the price of the cost of the making and the labor involved in the parts. And now those numbers have gone down, or we've charged them. And that's inflationary? How is it? I don't even. Day one on this channel, I told everybody, tariffs are not inflationary. And I don't know how anybody got on the television and told everybody that it would be. I don't even know how they still have a job. It's sort of how I feel about the doctors that promoted stuff back in 2020. Anyway, let's not go there. How do those people still have a career? I mean, I heard there's a black box label or something. I don't know. I just heard about it. Some label on that thing now. And it's like, what? Like, why is it on the market still? Why don't you just pull that thing already? It was a bad idea to begin with. Like, I don't know. Anyway, how did I get down that road? The market. It needs a shot of good old fashioned QE. That's all it needs. I'm just going to no more sugarcoat tonight. All it needs is money. It needs an injection of liquidity. We're not going anywhere until that day. You can't get better fundamental news than some of the fundamental news we've had on some of these coins, in particular, Ripple. Like, there is no better fundamental news than that. Become a trust bank, its own trust bank, and has its own stable coin, and has its own crypto coin. You understand that that's like the most profitable business profile ever. And Hidden Road is already doing 2.5, 3 trillion, 3.5. I don't know what it is in brokerage. That's a win, 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 win. 4 wins in that one. And the retail price went down. So to a bigger market of volume of let's place our bets, it's a short. In their short-term thinking, it's more likely to go down further than it is to go up. Just facts. And the leverage says it. All the leverage is headed that way. So what does that mean long-term to us? Nothing. What does that mean in the short term? People are trying to make money with a short. And there could be powers that be that are trying to actually control it to some degree so that they can gather more coins. Some of those coins, that's a true fact to some degree. I want to talk now about, man, I'm so glad I'm on this channel right now. When you get that, I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. You probably noticed. I'm sorry about that. Actually, I'm not sorry about that. It's really been kind of good. I'm going to talk about my business life here later. You do this when I get to do these shows and you listen and you get something from these shows. I'm learning as much as I'm teaching. This is what we all do together. This is what I've done well throughout my whole life. Not necessarily teach. It's like I learn a lot from teaching, and it resonates with me. It works really well for this man. And I guess you guys are just the byproduct. It's fun to have a platform to where, you know, we can share concepts and ideas and whatnot. So the market, let's finish that. I'm excited because I had a great conversation the other night with a couple of gentlemen, and we started talking about that. I feel like people in crypto today are like, we're lost. We're out on this desert in the middle of nowhere. We kind of have water and we have food. We're okay, you know, we have shelter from the sun, but we're just lost. We're not really going anywhere. We're not really doing anything. We're just sort of numbers going sideways, and everybody's sort of looking at each other like, I'm kind of bored here. Like, is this it? I mean, are we just going to live out here in the desert and it's never going to get better? Or are we going to, you know, pop some champagne or what are we going to do here one day? You know? So that's where we're at. And I feel that. I feel it from all the people I talk to. I hear there's this emptiness in the conversation when I'm discussing crypto with them. And I get it. And I understand that. And it's to some degree, it is the lull before the storm. It's not going to happen until the liquidity shows up. That's just fact. Okay. If you own a business right now, you need liquidity. There isn't any. So your business probably isn't screaming right now, right? Like, it doesn't matter whether your business is AI or crypto or anything else. All of them are showing points of like stress or weaning markets, or like, wow, there's just not enough interest or financial interest or bank loans, and there's just not enough liquidity, and it's just not out there yet. That's coming, and it will come, and it's going to happen, and we all know that. Robert Driscoll in the house. Hey, love you guys. James, yeah, moon. When's the moon, guys? Crawfish. We got Becky, of course. We got Hoofty in here tonight. Man, we got the whole gang. Leanne, of course. David. Hey, when I get to talk to you about market share and business, that's really my forte. That's what I love talking about. When I talk about psychology of trading, I've been through it. When I talk about technology coming, I'm a fanboy. I'm just a fanboy of it. And I don't really have the ton of experience to know what AI is going to be coming. Of course, I'm with everybody else. I have no idea. But I see its use case. And oh man, if you've heard anything of what's going on, oh my, with putting out everything into space, isn't that odd? I don't know, some Sunday show, some old guy and his son were talking about putting out everything out into space like 2 or 3 Sundays ago. Yeah, and all of a sudden that's the talk of the town. Crazy that. It's a funny thing when you listen to these MIT lectures and then, you know, a week or 3 weeks later, they come out to the public. It's like, really cool stuff. Today, in today's market, it's a tough go if you're a Kryptonian. It's a tough go, guys. I'm not at all trying to promote anybody to stop, you know, purchasing more crypto or whatever you're, you know, filling your bag or DCAing in. But I spent a long time out in that desert. And I learned a lot sitting out in the shade. And the thing I learned was, it's all a journey. It is the path. And the path starts very simply and innocently enough. Hey, this crypto thing, man, this could happen. And this technology and the use case and the people using it around the world on their phone, maybe with Starlink. And I can trade with a goat farmer somewhere in Africa because I love those hides or whatever. We can do that one day. And then the fat cats with the cigars and the boardrooms, we make them go bye-bye because we don't need them. We become a decentralized public of humanity. Borderless, possibly even one day. Who knows? That's kind of the vision when you get into crypto, when you really get deeper into, just my bag go up. It leads you to other things, other avenues, other prosperity just comes along your path. It's a growth. It's a stepping point. It's not the end all be all, the end of the finish line and the end of the journey. I need you all to know that and understand that because I'm starting to get the bigger picture for you all. That picture is a long, beautiful path of decentralized freedom, decentralized profit sharing, a manner in which a person can raise a family and afford everything. What a concept, right? Can you imagine a world like that? I'm not talking socialism here. I don't believe in socialism. Sorry, if you do, that's okay. Good for you. That's great. I've never witnessed it really achieve anything. Doesn't mean I couldn't be educated on it. There's something happening with money right now because of necessity. I want to take you back just to 2020 when this COVID thing came. And I don't know about you, but like everybody I knew from 2016 to 2020, everybody I knew was like, wow, I wish I could get a work from home job. I wish I could get one of those. I could pet the dog and make a sandwich and, make my coffee and, go back to my desk. People of the planet wanted that so bad. And then COVID comes along. And then all of a sudden, everybody's working from home. Not everybody, but a lot of people started working from home. And they proved to themselves that they could do it. I really feel like, stay with me on this, I really feel like that's where we're at now. I'm starting to really feel and starting to really understand, okay? Who just posted that? Was that B-Man posting that? Sorry, guys. Somebody just posted, wasn't me, as the Staple Crew. Oh, it might be Elizabeth. Probably Elizabeth. Sorry, guys. That one caught me. Where was I? So when you get back to when you learn a new trick, whether you're forced to learn the trick or you just through boredom or whatever the situation might be, these people, us in the desert right now, have opportunity to look outside of it. Look outside of, I'm more than a hodler. What else am I? What do I identify myself as? I'm a crypto trader. I'm a crypto trader. I'm a crypto bag holder. I'm a hodler, Allan. I'm in this for the long run. I'm not selling my XRP until it's $1,000. Okay, I like that. Good for you. Conviction. Love it. Good for you. Me personally, I'm kind of looking for ways to make a little scratch on the side. That brings us to where we're at. Not unlike 2020, we're now in the lull of this thing. And believe me, I'm the first guy to tell you, I got this one wrong. Capital W on that one. I was not even close. I thought we would be $6-8 by now. I thought Bitcoin would be $1.50 by December. I think I even said it in my, wow, I have to do another one of those, my annual what I got wrong for the year, and not afraid to do that one. And what I got right, it's kind of usually a real short segment. And what I think is going to happen the next year. I don't know that I'm going to do any predictions for next year. Anyway, we'll see about that. So I went down the path, okay, let's do DeFi. That's where I'm going with this. Okay, do we go to DeFi? And then Mr. Saylor comes out with some, great products that are making people a lot of money, by the way. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, not really into that. That didn't really float my boat. No, I'm just going to hodl my bag. I'm going to stay under the tent out in the middle of the desert. I'm going to wait for something better to lure me out into the sun to walk into the next town. Whatever that might be for you. Then chat GPT comes along, and all of a sudden you get all these options. And you're like, wow, I can make money with money. I can find a way on the internet to actually learn more about virtually everything that makes money. So you go down that one. Great. What's it tell you? Same old stuff. Same old tired stuff. Yeah, detail cars on the weekend. Clean people's gutters. No, you and I are crypto people. We have an IQ. We're smarter than that. We use money to make money. That's what we do. We should be better at this. So I really started beating myself up. And I said, look, Allan, you got to do better than that. I'm sorry. No, buy a coin in 2016 and hope that 9 years later that you're going to get rich and sit under palm trees with umbrella drinks. I'm sorry. You got it. You're smarter than that. So what are you going to do? How are you going to pull this off, Allan? Well, you know where I'm going with this. Money makes money more today than ever before. Ever before in the history of mankind. In more ways than ever before. Period. So I start listening to a few people who are good people, and I start listening to what they have to say, and they start telling me, hey, there's these bots, there's this trading platform, there's this other platform. You can go to this school and learn to be a trader. I went through that hassle. You really don't want to do that to your soul. That ain't it. You're better off selling programs to become a trader than you are to try and become a trader. Go Baby Trader comes along. As you all know, a fine group of men. And I believe his daughter. What a piece of kit that is. KIT kit. Unbelievable. What it did for people, what it empowered people with virtually no schooling, none, zero. Oh, sure, it was $3,000 or whatever it was. That's your education process. Oh, should I do 3 or should I do 4? Yeah, I'm going to do 3 or 4. By the way, that's going to be in the show notes below. You can find that many people are crushing it with Go Baby Trader. What blows me away is how many other crypto channels I talked to them that I got, what's up with this trading platform that you have, Allan? Which is exactly what I'm talking about. You and I are now sitting under the tent, right? Think about this, guys. You're sitting under the tent with your Go Baby Trader, making cash, while all the other people are hanging onto a bag and watching the bag slip through their hands. And the bags are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And they're like, well, I'm losing equity here. Holy smokes, I better, watch another YouTube channel of somebody who's going to tell me that, he's got a skirt and pom-poms in his hand telling you it's going to get better one day. No, I'm sorry. We're not playing that. This man went out and did something about it. You can't be one-dimensional in this world. You'll get crushed. And I figured that out. And I said, we need to diversify out of crypto, using crypto, trading crypto, working with our money, making our money work while we sleep. And trust me, Go Baby Trader, that's not the end all be all. Oh, it's a beautiful piece of, oh my God. That's all you need in life, really. That and some cash, and you're good to go. You're set. Yeah, Cisco Kid, 5%. 5% on your money is very doable. You're looking at every month is going to be different. I'm talking at the end of the year, you're going to average 5%, somewhere in there. And I'm not even talking about this to be like selling you. Most of you already have this thing. I'm not trying to sell them. That's not what I'm doing here tonight. What I'm trying to say is, what are you going to do in the lull of the storm? What are you doing under the tent? What are you going to do to make your life interesting? It's very complicated, very difficult. I've tried to invest in AI. Very complicated. They're really not letting the public in. There's really, it's tricky. Yeah. It's happening right now. AI is allowing you to become or do anything you want to do. And I know you. What you want to do is you want to sit under the tent with a drink and you want to just relax and enjoy life and do whatever you feel like doing with your life. It's enabling you to do that. You know that, right? It's the tip of the iceberg. Yes, invest in Allan. Yeah, truer words were never spoke. That man is I don't care what you think of the man personally, whether you like him or not. That is the single greatest investment over the next decade that you will make. Well, there's a couple of cryptos too that are probably going to do multiples better. But what I'm saying is, if you're looking at stock and you're not looking at that one, I don't care what anybody, the expert, tells you. I'm not giving financial advice. You just tell me that somebody's going to make anything better than he's making cheaper. It's impossible. If you make all the parts and all the components inside your own roof, how is somebody that has parts for coming from 1,000 different directions to assemble them And you got to make sure this part fits with that part, which does it communicate with this part, and it's wired this way, and this one's wired this one likes this, and this one's built on that platform, and this one's built on that platform, and this one's arriving late, and this one's early, and this one's not. And now I got to figure out a place where to store it while this shipping's coming in on this one, as opposed to building everything under one roof. How are you going to compete with that? I don't care if you're talking about making paperweights. What I just explained is what he's going to crush the world with. It's called business logistics, and he's killing the world on it, killing them all. They have no possibility. If he decides tomorrow to make a toaster, anybody who makes toasters is out of business within 2 years. Just anyway. Okay, Mrs. Claus. I don't know why I frown on these, as many of you know, but it is a super chat. And so therefore I must really read it. Hi, Allan. Just joining you. Turn in to get your thoughts on XRP and life as usual. Also, I wanted to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, a wonderful New Year, and exciting 2026 will be. Thank you very much, Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus is one of the great people of our community who is absolutely, she does God's work, for number one, for a living. She takes care of others who can't take care of themselves. She has a life dream. She has a goal and a dream. And boy, does life get any better than that? Just think about that. She has something she would like to build and create before she passes, before her time comes. Who wins more than that? Who wins more than that individual? Nobody. She's crushing it. And we're going to hold her to it because we're the community and the family that she has. And we're going to do what we can to help her crush that. She and Simon have gotten close. Anyway, I don't want to tell you the lady's whole story, but I will tell you, those are the kind of people that in this community, crazy how many of them we have. All of you have this life story that every time I talk to you on the phone, I'm like, oh my God, I love you people. What is it about you people? I mean, really, is it the water? What? I don't know. I can't figure it out. It's so good to be part of. Yeah. Crypto Casey. Yeah. She said it's worth 20 grand. It is worth 20 grand. Crypto Casey, by the way, will be at my show in January. If you're a fan of hers, it will be fun to see her. Never met her, but I'd like to. I want to get into something here real quick. Where are you at? I want to kind of just summarize everything there. Growth happens out of adversity often. Your adversity in 2020 was, well, let's stay home and make some money online. Okay, great. A lot of people learned how to do that. Now, your adversity is this. It's not a bear market, please. It's just a sideways, tangled up, no liquidity. It's a brilliant idea. It's all going somewhere, but it's absolutely doesn't have the fuel. It's a rocket on the launch pad where nobody's lit the rocket. I mean, and it's full. It's not full of fuel. And until it is, until they light the rocket, this could be a while, guys. It could really be a while. Now, I know 26 is when Trump's going to get, May at least, he's going to get the, Jay Powell will be out on the streets. Poor guy. I feel so terrible for him. He's probably just going to, I don't know, buy an island and Who knows? What a terrible thing to have happened. What is he, 80? Come on. Why do we keep... I'd like to know this one. If we already know that AI has a higher IQ than, I don't know, 90% of the people working at the Federal Reserve, why don't we just get 5 AIs to determine what we should do with the price, inflation, and increase jobs numbers, all the rest? Why do we have a panel of people that can be corrupted? I wish somebody would kind of clue me in on that one. Like, I know, let's get some people that have political aspirations to determine the future of the value of all money. What could possibly go wrong? It sounds perfectly sensible to me. Oh my God. It's just like, and none of them are economists. Have you noticed they're all lawyers? Jay Powell's a lawyer. Not, saying anything about lawyers. I'm just saying, maybe it's very frustrating. So where are you at now? Are you looking outside the tent? Are you just going to hunker down and just sit there and, I'm going to hodl my bag and I'm just going to wait? And maybe you're in the financial position that that's all you can do. Okay? Maybe that's all you can do. I don't know. Financially, you're set, you're tight, you're okay. I've got a budget. I got my bags are packed. I'm good to go with crypto. I'm okay. I don't need a home run. Maybe you're in that boat, but maybe you need to make some income. Maybe you need to make some monthly income. Maybe you need a tax solution. If you need a tax solution, you need to go to my show. And if you haven't bought a ticket yet, you need to go to my show. If you think to yourself, well, I'm not really sure what's happening with my taxes. I bought a coin 2 years ago and I think I sold it, but I'm not sure. Or you're going with the excuse, I lost all my crypto in a boat accident. If that's your angle, I'm sorry, it's all gone. I was on a laptop and the boat sank and it's at the bottom of the ocean. And, I don't know any crypto. Good luck with that one, by the way. But I have some serious solutions for you. I also may or may not have some opportunities. And I'm talking about, of course, Mr. Ed Barsano is going to be at the show with chat. With Go Baby. He is a fine man. I'm talking about at least 2 other opportunities in which you could make percentages on your money right around equal to what Go Baby. In other words, so real close to 5% a month. And 2 or 3 of them, one at least, that could be, double that. Could be. Has been. So far. That's right. I said double. I said it. Double. Anyway. Get yourself to the show. I'm tired of asking. I just don't. And I know you go to wedding. I know people got weddings that they're overseas and they can't get there. And I get all that. It wasn't meant to be. And I understand that. I got it. Do not miss the wedding. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. Yeah. Please don't do that. But, if you're semi-annual underwater basket weaving convention is that weekend and you elected to go to that instead, I'm sorry, I don't have any, I don't have any sympathy at all. Sorry, I don't. That's people make excuses why they don't want to improve their lives. Have you noticed how most people who aren't successful will tell you immediately, yes, thank you, Becky, for putting the link up there. Most people who are not successful in life will find a reason to do anything other than go to something that will make them successful. Have you noticed that? I don't know. It's just something I've noticed over the years. And every time I go to a crypto show, I get smarter. I really do. I get smarter. I meet more people. It's just amazing to me, the people I meet. But I want to talk about business. Remember, I said I was going to talk about business. I go to these shows, and I know I've told everybody here before, I feel like an extension cord. I'm a conduit. I'm an energy connector. I've decided who I am in life. And some people are really good at it, and some people are really smooth with it, and some people are just a real prick about it. Some people are just ornery and angry and down your throat and just aggressively, you've got to do this and you must have to do this, and well, the deal's only good for 10 more minutes, and if you don't make this happen, there are so many people like that in our business world that they've turned so many people off. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who basically, oh, okay, yeah, consider it done. Well, are you going to run out and stop everything, Allan, and make it happen in the next hour? No, I'm not going to. That's not. Nope. Nope. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to let it flow. We're going to get in the zone. We're going to let it come to us. I'm not the guy, and I really want to talk about this because this is what I'm talking about with business. Business today, they think that you have to compete. People think that you must compete. And if you don't have the best idea, and if you don't have the most aggressive sales force, and if you don't have the most phone contacts, and if somebody's not blowing your email up constantly, you're not doing a good job. And I need 1 million leads, not 10,000 leads a day. I need 1 million leads a day. And this whole Shark Tank mentality of the world that we have today that's not how brilliance comes to you. I listen. I know it's boring to hear me say it one more time, but I've lived and worked with billionaires my whole life, not almost my whole life, 35 years or whatever it's been. Almost all the successful business people I've ever known, ever worked with, were not your type A annoying individuals. They were quite the opposite. Wealth came to them because they attracted it. In fact, most of them can't even tell you how it happened. Most of them like to tell you the story, and then their kids and their wife and their family are like, Dad, that's not what happened. Well, oh yeah, what did happen? They didn't have a whiteboard with 15 goals on it and just attacking each goal every single day of their life. 99% of the people who become very wealthy or very well-to-do in business don't do business like that. And see, all of these people trying to sell you courses, and all these people that are trying to tell you, well, that's how you have to do it. You've got to pound the streets, and you've got to make all those phone calls, and you've got to call these people. You have to annoy all of your friends, and you have to up this multi-level marketing angle of Amway and all that. It's you got to sell all your friends and neighbors and annoy everybody with your no, I'm sorry. No, that's not how any of them became successful. Yeah. Exactly, Alex. Exactly. You and I, we are manifesting this. What are you manifesting in your life? What do you have visioned? Where is your life headed? What are you doing with it? And I'm not talking about whatever it is, the goal line at the end. I'm talking about what are you allowing in? What are you allowing in? Are you allowing prosperity to knock on the door? Are you opening the door? Or are you too busy sending emails? Think about what I just said right there. You're so damn busy, you can't make money. That's where most people are today. And I know this sounds like some crazy old man on YouTube telling them the exact opposite of what every show that was $29.95 to get this guy's book to tell you how to make $1 billion in 2026. All of them. They all said the same thing. Well, you need to get staff and you need to get this out there. You need 20 leads, and these leads turn into those leads. And then you get a banquet room, and then you trap everybody in a banquet room, and then you get everybody's emails. And then when you flush all these emails with all these people, what? No, you start a successful company and business by being authentic. Who are you? What are you? Are you leading by example? Are you an inspiration to your friends and family? Or are you annoying? Are you the person that always knew your destiny would be where it is? Or are you the person that was hoping that it would be? Or you're the person that's saying to yourself, well, that never happens to me. But that only happens to rich people. You are rich. You're rich beyond your wildest dreams. You've simply never allowed it in. You've simply never taken the time to envision yourself in those shoes. And I know you're like, well, that's just the craziest thing I ever heard. That's inaccurate. That's not how Bezos or that's pretty much how he got rich. He likes books. Yeah. Time spent totaling what's wrong with your life is killing your life. It's taking your time, it's choking you out, and it's allowing you to dwell on what you don't need. It's consuming your thought process in a way that is allowing of your day to be in a place that you don't want it to be in. And you say, well, I can't help it. That's just who I am. I just think of those thoughts. Then truly, you're right. You've organically built that structure into your thinking day. Of course, you're absolutely right about that. So how do you fix that? How do you change that, Allan? You become aware of it. You become aware of the fact that 90% of every subject, when somebody walks in the room and says something to you, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? How it will break? What's wrong with the idea? We can't afford the idea. The concept is too crazy. Those kind of things don't happen to me. Don't you know that's illegal? Don't you know that we can't do that? We don't have the tools to make that happen. We don't know those kind of people. I don't have the time. All of those are keeping you from thriving on this planet. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about smiling, enjoying, loving, laughing, and friends and family. So that's who you become organically. That's like somebody gives you an idea and you say, well, nope, that won't work because I saw that fail one time. Okay. All right. Yeah. Elon, crashed the first rocket. Why make another one? Shoot. You're right. The problem with living your life like that is the only thing you see is the lamb's ass in front of you because you're part of the sheep. You're in the center of the herd. We're safe. Oh, it's safe there. And you got plenty to talk about at the office meeting, at the coffee machine. Oh, yeah. You could sit there and complain with everybody else of what's wrong and what's gone wrong and who's right in politics and who's wrong in politics. And then when somebody comes up along with an idea that is just way out there and it's out of left field and absolutely it seems the craziest thing you ever heard of, and you look at them and go, what an idiot. And all of you yuck it up and look at the person as if they're some sort of loser because they're not in the center of the sheep herd. You know what that gets you? Yeah. Smelling the back end of the person in front of you is about all your life looks like. And all it will look like. And people tell me this all the time. Well, you don't know. It's, this is my life. And, Allan, it's just not that simple for me. And it's this and it's that. And it's, whatever, my upbringing, my brother-in-law, my cousin, my mom, my parents, my alcoholism, I smoke too much, I eat too much, I do whatever too much. And all of these things add up to painting you now who organically you are. You are right. You are that now. That's who you are. Absolutely accurate. You have become that. That's who you are. You're right. You're not somebody else. You've become that. All of that baggage has become who you are. So how do you fix that, Allan? Gee, I don't know. I think maybe you do the opposite of that. And maybe you start telling yourself, well, you know what? I have to consciously think about the next time somebody walks in a room with an idea or asks me for a request or asks me to talk about a subject or thinking about it. I don't automatically take the opposite opinion and I don't automatically go, oh, I have to hit them with my 10 lists of ideas that are all scrutinizing everything they just said. You have to become conscious of that, and you must do it now. Or not. You don't have to. There's nothing that says that your life isn't happy being miserable. There's a lot of miserable people out there, and misery loves company. They'll tell you how bad their day went. They love it. Nothing better. Gee, it makes them feel all warm and fuzzy inside that somebody else had a bad day. Me personally, I go there. We all do. Obviously, we all get there. The question is, when you go there, did you, at the moment of going there, did you go, oh, wow, I'm that guy at this moment? Did you actually say, oh, I'm being myself. I'm being that side of myself again. Maybe I could kind of tone that down and fix it. At least I caught it. At least I'm aware that I'm being that way at this moment in my life. Yeah. That's how you fix it. People are always asking me, oh, how do you stay so optimistic? I'm not always optimistic. There's when I'm sleeping, I'm not. Okay. So where are you at? Where are you at right now? Is there room for improvement? Probably with every human being out there, right? There just is. I gotta get into a couple of these questions. Somebody hit me with these 3 or 4 questions the other day, and I really wanted to get into these because I think we'll all get something from these, but they were so good. I was like, wow, these are great. And anyway, it's a person I know well. We all know well. I'm going to say this. They have a channel and they interview people, and they're going to interview me in the future. And I was laughing. I was like, well, why didn't you ask me these or in the shows that you've interviewed me in the past? Anyway, we won't get into that. So this question is, Allan, is there something hard what's one of the hard things that you've had to unlearn in your lifetime? What a brilliant question. And I was laughing. I was like, wow, unlearn. If you're looking into anyway, somebody asked a question. If you go to the email site, it has all the information on the show. So what was something in your lifetime that you had to unlearn? But I was like, immediately I had 10 things. But the one that really kind of was the hardest for me to learn, because I kind of grew up in the military family and all that, was America isn't the good guy. That one was really kind of tough for me. It took me a long time to really wrap my head around that. I was like, wow. You grow up as an American kid and proud of your country, as every country is. Most people are proud of where they come from, but Americans to some like greater degree than it seems like to me. But anyway, I could be wrong about that. I've traveled in quite a few nations, spent a lot of time in different countries, but that one came to mind. But the biggest one for me was the one that hit me the hardest was I learned I talked to my son and my wife about this one a lot. I learned at a pretty young age that my parents were idiots. There you go. I said it. My parents weren't very well read. They weren't very smart. They weren't good parents. Not that, that matters necessarily all that much, believe it or not. I'm not talking about like, I thought I was smarter than they were, anything like that a lot of teenage kids go through. No, I pretty much figured when I was about 12 or 13, somewhere right in there, I was like, I don't want to be like them. Like that. I don't want to be like those people. I don't want to be anything like those people. And it's odd that, I had to unlearn I love them, obviously, but I had to find a way to say to myself, I can't even believe I came from those people, but evidently I did. Obviously I did. But they just didn't see the world the way I did. And I'm not talking politically or spiritually or anything like that. What I'm talking about was what they believed that another fellow man meant to another fellow man was nothing that I believed about my fellow man. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're all just as good as the other guy. I knew that from a very young age, that I loved everybody. I liked everybody. I just did from day one. My son and my wife will tell you, I don't have any enemies. Never. I've never had an enemy. Well, there's a couple ex-wives, but even they're like friends of mine at this point. I knew that my parents were um, extremely racist, which is, I don't even understand that. I don't even get the concept. That's like saying, oh, well, I only like people with blue eyes, not people with brown eyes. And like, what? Like, what do you want about? I only like people that shave their heads and people that don't have blonde hair. Like, what are you talking about? Like that never resonated with me. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I was just like, what? No, I don't know. You're wrong about that. And you're wrong about this. So anyway, it was the two things that came to mind. No, there were many things about my parents that I loved, appreciated, of course, but I knew that they didn't see people the way I saw people. And anyway, for whatever that's worth. I also knew that there was something more important than money. And my parents always, every single day of my mom's life, and I think I've told this story before, every day of my mom's life, she said she never had enough money. And to be honest, she didn't probably when I was a kid. I can remember not having shoes most of my life. The only time I got to wear shoes was when I went to school. Think about that. Like I got home from school, I used to have to take my shoes off. I preferred it anyway. So, yeah. Yeah. We were poor. A lot of people were poor. We had 5 kids. I mean, it's hard to be wealthy when you got 5 kids. And it was easier back then. There's don't let anybody tell you that it wasn't. Clearly it was. But, she always remarked, every time I ever heard the woman speak, we don't have enough money. And she never really did. Funny that how you manifest in your lifetime, really, isn't it? She wasn't a poor lady. I mean, she was on a military pension. My father had a military pension, so she could always make ends meet, after he passed. But yeah, crazy. I also want to say something about growing up back then. That a lot of people, I want anybody that's my age, I'm in my mid 60s, and anybody that's not this age, okay, let's put it like this. Anybody that didn't grow up in, I'm going to call it from the mid 60s, early to mid 60s, and I'm talking about being kids to like high school, to like, I'm going to say late 70s. Anybody that grew up in that window right there, it's this man's opinion that you had the best life. And the reason why I say that is because before that, life was different. It was farm, it was work, it was war, it was a lot of things. It was like very regimented, very, not free to be you. And there's something about the early 60s, mid 60s to like late 70s that was freedom. There was freedom there. And I can't explain it because I lived it. We absolutely, my parents didn't even know where I was. They didn't know if I was even in the same county, nor cared, to be honest. But there was a sense of freedom that I grew up with that kids don't have today. And I don't believe they'll ever have again. Yeah. You could get on your bike and just go to the other side of the town and just like be gone all day, be home for dinner. Yeah, of course. Where else was I going to eat? I didn't have any money. Like, ride your bike all day long. Kids didn't have that in the 80s and 90s even. I guess depends on where you grew up. I shouldn't say that. A lot of kids did. But there had to be a certain amount of creativity. You had to be, you were given a ball or a 2x4 or a rock or a can in the street, or we didn't have stuff. You had to use your imagination, right? We weren't allowed to just sit around and watch cartoons all day. They're like, get the hell out of the house. Get out and don't come back till dinner. And they meant it. They're like, oh, yeah, no, outside. That's, we're like dogs. Like literally get the dog out of the house all day long. That's how they treated us back then. And not in like a mean way. It was just, that's what kids do. You get outside, the adults are in here smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. It was just in a different era. And I don't even know why I brought that up. Those of you who grew up in that, I think you were beyond blessed. And I think when I speak with you, I think you understand me maybe a little bit better. Maybe not. Maybe people that grew up today resonate with that as well. Maybe they look at us and think we're completely out of our skull, allowing our kids to do that. But I grew up raising my son, Brent, as you guys all know, the B-Man, as my best friend. I don't highly recommend that, but thankfully I didn't have a lot of reasons to discipline the kid. I got lucky with him, but he's always been my best friend until I met Elizabeth. And then, his odd, it's odd how you feel like you feel differently about different people. Anyway, I don't want to get into that, but I don't know where I was going with that. But Brent's an amazing kid, and I always knew it. I knew it from day one. Yeah, no, Glenn, we did. We grew up in absolutely the best time to grow up. Yeah, Wayne House. Yep, we grew out riding our bikes right through the mosquito fogger. Oh yeah, been there, done that. Playing with matches all day. Yeah, lucky we didn't burn the whole county down, to be honest. Yeah, it's just really, yeah. I know Atlantic Living. I know you're a lot younger than we are. I'm pretty sure you are anyway. But it's very depends on where you grow up, and the values that your family have and whatnot. Okay. So these are questions that somebody hit me with. What am I good at? This is one that I spent all day working in the yard today. I'm running a 220 line, 180 feet. Yeah, 170 feet. Well, 90 and 80. Yeah. So whatever it is. So of 220 down to my well. So I played electrician and guy today. I love doing stuff like that, but I don't have a lot of time to do much of that anymore. As much as I was. I really, truly miss it. But there's something about being with your own thoughts all day. And it's brilliant. And I love it. And it's a thing that my generation understands when I say that. We're better at that than most because of that time of get out of the house, go do anything. We had to use our imagination more. Kids today, they got it on a phone or a laptop or, movies, or parents in the 80s and 90s really wanted their kids to be at home, like where I can keep an eye on them. So, something bad doesn't happen to them. It was just a change, it just changed. And so you use less of your imagination. My opinion, that when you don't have anything, you have to create things out of nothing. And I just think a great deal of imagination comes from that. But what am I good at? That's a big one that I really would expect. If you guys get nothing from this show other than that, boy, ask yourself that one. Just and be real and be sincere and spend some time on it. What are you good at? Becky, Alex, Robert, Allan, T.O., Dale, Scott, I'm missing John Foster, Atlantic Living Crawfish, Hydroponic, John Foster, Wayne, and Glenn. What are you good at? What are you good at? When somebody hit me with that one, let me tell you, brothers and sisters, that one rocked my world. Because if you ask my wife that question, or my son that question, or some of my good friends that question, I believe it would be all three different answers. But what do you think you're good at? Right? What do you think you're good at? That was big, boy. That one hit me right between the ears. And I was just like, oh my God. Well, that's a tough one. And I didn't really have a good answer in the beginning. I really didn't. But I can tell you what the answer is now. What am I really good at? Keeping my sanity. That one's deep, guys. I know it's not at all what you were thinking. I don't lose myself in the ignorance of man. Ever. Well, I shouldn't say ever. We all do to some degree or another. I don't watch news. I don't listen to it. You guys blew my phone up today about the Trump thing with marijuana. I was laughing. Yeah, whatever. I know. But anyway, I happened to be at my eating lunch with Elizabeth when that hit the airwaves, I guess. So what are you good at? And my passion is different from what I'm good at. But what I'm really good at is being a little bit good of a lot of things. I know that's a cop-out, but that's really, truly. I had a man, I've told this story before, but it's so important to understand what you are and who you are in this world, and what you offer this world. But this man said to me one time, after knowing me for a good decade, and he said, Allan, you're a Renaissance man. And I didn't know whether it was an insult or what. I was like, Renaissance? Well, I know the Renaissance era, but I didn't know really what it meant at all. And I thought, well, I think that's a compliment. I'm pretty sure that was a compliment. He's a great guy, but doesn't mean that it could have had a quirky little way about saying it, what it meant. And I ran home and immediately looked it up. And that's kind of who I am. Yeah, that's kind of who I am. To some degree. I'm kind of good at a lot of different things, but I really believe in noble causes, and I really do like when the little guy wins. But I'm kind of Robin Hood too. I got a lot of Robin Hood in me. I'm sure you guys do too. There's something about me that just like, I can't stand being prosperous without sharing it. There's just something about me that way. It's like, well, if I'm doing really well and I run into somebody who's not, it's like the first thing I want to do is pay for their dinner or something. It's like there's something about me that way that's just crazy. It's not crazy. It's a good trait to have, but I think it's important to do it for the right people and for the right reasons. I'm learning, I'm getting better at that. Yeah. I didn't, I'm gonna get into, now I'm gonna get into what all that means. As of recently, on a financial level, I've not been, I don't want to call it successful. I've been successful in many different ways. I've been done well in life a few times. But over the last like 10 to 20 years, I've really just been kind of existing to exist, just cruising along, doing my thing. Everything's going good. No, hydroponic. I'm a Capricorn, whatever that means to anybody. And I just kind of been cruising along and doing my thing. And I see opportunity everywhere. I see it everywhere. So it's very hard for me to really focus on one thing and say, that's the thing that I'm going to crush it. And I'm going to be, Elon over this. Even Elon can't stay on one subject. But I'm very scatterbrained in that sense. I like to have my hands in like 10 projects. I'm really not a one project kind of guy. That's not really who I am. Yeah, I'm January 14th. So it's coming up here. And I was born 1960, just 2 weeks into the year. But so I'm an old guy. Yeah. So when you understand what you're good at and what you like to do, they don't typically are the same thing. But about 6, 8, 9 months ago, I ran into something that is it's something I'm really, really good at. And it's my passion. And I'm crushing it. And I can honestly tell you that it's taken me almost 65 years to figure that out. So it's really what this whole show's about to some degree is when you think that your life is the plight in which you're on, or that this is where I am and this is who I am, and I'm not going to evolve. I'm Allan, and I'm a yacht captain, which has been an incredible life. I've been I've worn so many great hats in my lifetime, and Mr. YouTube guy in some people's eyes, and some great, wonderful things that I've really been able to do in my lifetime. But when you finally come across something that is exactly, you're the exact person. And it's odd too, because I can't really tell the whole story, but I'm going to try and tell the story as best I can at the show. And I'm going to tell the story after the show a lot more often on this channel. But you guys, the last 9 months of my life, you just wouldn't believe what's happened to it. But I hope to do a good job of explaining it to you. But yeah, it's very, opportunity came my way, and there was many opportunities, and I kept trying to look at other ones, and this one just kept bringing me back and kept bringing me back. And God, light, love, universe, whatever your thing is, just kept putting it in front of me and saying, this is it. This is you. This is you. This is what you need to do. And when I started to really pursue it, I met some business people along the way, and I'm talking corporate. I'm talking they run $100 million companies. Okay. I met like 3 in that category, 4 in that category now. And I can honestly tell you, now this is going to sound very whatever, believe this or not, I'm better at business than they are. Yeah. And I'm better at it because I'm just better at leaving my emotions outside the door. And I've had to deal with so many people that have ruined deals, upset the crew, made the trip go bad, ruined vacations, had times, had fits, had problems, had whatever, that just kept everybody from having a good time, that I don't allow it to happen on my watch. And I don't put my foot down. I just change the subject. I make it more simple. I make the experience more pleasant. I use a positive every time there's a negative to make a better transaction. And I'm a better listener than I ever used to be. I know for a guy that sits on here for an hour and a half and talks, that's kind of hard to believe, but I am. And it's really become a strength of mine in the last few years of my life. But people want to ruin deals, and I don't allow it to happen. People try to put their egos, or they try and put their emotions, or they try and put themselves or their needs or their financial concerns before others, and I don't allow it to ruin the deal. It's okay. Everybody should have their own opinion about how much money they think they need to make, or whatever percentage, or they want to do this or they don't. That's a free market system in which I completely agree with. And I believe in wholeheartedly that if somebody doesn't like the deal they've been offered and they go out and get a different deal, that they should be able to do that, because that's what I call freedom. Even though that freedom, by me allowing them to have that freedom, it may cost me 10, 15, 20% out of my bottom line, I tip my cap to them and I say, good for you. You go do what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, it's not up to me. And it's not keeping score by how much money you make. When you keep score by who made the most money, who got the best deal, you come out the loser. I don't even care if you're the guy that ends up with the most money. And the more I understood that, and the more I listened to billionaires teach me that, and the more I started using that theory, and the more I presented that, not just on this channel, but when I came to people and I said, I'm going to give you more than I expect, not just give up my life and everything and just roll over and do everything for everybody. No, but I'm going to give you more than I ask for. That's the key. When you overpromise and underdeliver, you're in hot water. That is not going to make it in today's business world. And that it takes sometimes, Sage, I love you. If you're listening to this show, an incredible gal. You guys, you're all going to meet Sage at the show. What an incredible lady. She told me this not long ago. I don't know. I know where it was. We were in Florida at 007's party or a show. And she said to me, Allan, I think that's what she told me, right about that timeline anyway. So May, whatever it was, she goes, Allan, you're coming into your own. You're about to truly crush it. And I didn't understand exactly what she meant by that, but she's like, and then she went on to paint the picture. You're at the perfect time of your life. You're at the time, you're at the age, you're in your mid 60s. You're everything that you've learned over the last 40 years of business, transaction, structure, understanding relationships and building business and company and everything that you do and everything that you've done with your community and everything else is going to explode, Allan. And I can't even tell you how this channel, I know, whatever, we get 1,500 live views or whatever it might be. I don't even, it doesn't matter. I'm at the point now where every time I turn around, every opportunity that comes my way is better than the last one. Relationships that I haven't talked to these people in 15 and 20 years are calling my wife or myself out of the blue, and they're perfect for the job. So I'm asking you, is that because I read a seminar, went to a seminar and taught me how to do sales, how to ring everybody up, how to cold call, how to crush people, how to get all these leads, how to get all that stuff? Did I do all of that? No, I just told you I haven't talked to this person in 2 decades. And it's the perfect person to be the CEO of my company. Perfect. You understand that? Did I even have an inkling or a concept of who they might be or where they would come from? No, but you know what I started doing about a year ago? Expecting every time I put my foot down or picked the phone up, somebody was going to say one sentence. I talked to Leanne Breedy. I've talked to many of you people in this chat right here. Solar Sam, all the time. I talk to people and we'll talk about dogs or cats or farmland or whatever it might be. And boom, they'll say one thing. And I don't even bring it up to them at the moment. I'm just like, there it is. There it is. That's what I needed. And it's constant confirmation to who you are, where you're going. And once you get on that roll, and once you start understanding this is happening for me, this is happening for all the people in this chat, this is happening for everybody that follows my channel, the success of where we're all headed and the way we're headed there is happening to all of you. I'm not guessing. This is happening for you. And I'm not talking about crypto. I'm talking about, and I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about all of it. The tools that I'm going to share with you and the tools that keep coming to me. And I'm going to keep sharing them with you. And you're going to get tired of learning more, better processes all along the way. You're going to get tired of succeeding. I know people tell me I'm out of my mind and I'm not. What else am I going to do with the rest of my life? Stop and think about what could be a greater life than a man who crushes it financially or with his community. I've heard all of you speak. You've all told me the same thing. When you crush it in crypto, you're going to take care of your friends, your family. You're going to build a community center. You're going to do all this different stuff. You're going to buy my parents' farm. You're going to farm for the community. You're going to give the food away. You're going to help starving people. I've heard all of your conversations. What could be a better gift to the twilight of a man's years than to help you succeed in doing so? So when somebody asks you, what are you good at? Think long and hard. Long and hard. Because it might evolve. It might be different tomorrow than it is today. I am twice the businessman I was 6 months ago. And I'm twice the entrepreneur. And philanthropy is my future. And it's going to be a blast. And you are going to be on the ride with me. Many of you already are. Many of you already know what I'm talking about. And many of you are going to hear about it at the show. And it's absolutely I'm not going to tell the story tonight, but I may tell the story in Florida. This is such an incredible time to be alive for all of us. Prosperity is about to come, in particular to people in the United States and possibly Canada and Mexico, because they're going to be affiliated in some degree. You're not going to believe the financial prosperity that's coming to this country. I talk to people daily about it, and I'm telling you, all of them are loaded for bear. And all it needs is a little liquidity, and it's coming. Yeah. I'm going to get out of here because I have a lovely appointment with my talented, beautiful, and a talented wife, Elizabeth, who is it's a pleasure. I know we don't all get to share our lives with each other, but you guys are going to get to meet Elizabeth at the show, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. It's too much fun, guys. Robert Driscoll, why are you thanking me? You guys are the ones that spent an hour and a half of your night. You know, you spent an hour and a half of your life with me. You know that, right? Of course, I'd probably do this show if nobody watched it. I did do this show when nobody watched it, right? I mean, it's crazy what we do, but yeah, hit the like button. I never asked that. Don't subscribe. I don't need any more subscribers. Please don't do that. I feel obligated. There's no way I can meet 25,000 people now. So like, whoa, just hit like, don't hit subscribe. Yes, have an awesome weekend. And somebody said Merry Christmas in there. I will be, let's see, we're starting in on the Thursday thing now, right? Because all the holidays start falling on Thursdays. I don't know what we're going to do next Thursday. We'll have to figure it out. But everybody have a blessed Christmas. If I don't do a show right then, I probably will. But have a blessed holiday. Enjoy your loved ones. Enjoy the differences in people. Don't try and make them like you. It's my tip of the night. Enjoy the fact that they're completely different than you are. We are all one of a kind here. Enjoy the differences. Appreciate the things that they see differently than you do. That'll make a better holiday. Trust me, it will. All right, guys. I love you all very much. And with that, I'm going to try and get out of here. And I didn't even get to like 3 of my show notes over here, but we'll do that for next time. Okay, everybody. Have a blessed weekend, and I will be seeing you soon.